So smooth. Too many people in my business. I try to keep it on the low, keep these bitches on my hit list. But see, now they don't wanna listen. They try to pull a nigga card, try to take me out, I'm a Christian. I'm trying to turn a new leaf, no more beef. Everybody in their feelings wrapped up warm like a feast. On the streets keep calling me, I wanna eat. It's the feast, I'm this motherfucker. I'm like a thief in the night. When I roll through, silence got your whole crew locked in my sights. I'm not saying what I'm going to. You know the code of the street and what it is, dude. And what's the repercussions if I got to show you? Blood, guts, shattered bones, plus women, children, running, screaming and such. These bars are laid, they cut deep. To separate the meat and the wheat, slice your tenders from the meat. Don't let my roll lay the food. I swooping like a force of nature. I'm laying waste like a kaiju. Your boy blood, that's how I do. Murder is the case that they gave me. You ever try to play me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where is it? My bad. Yo, what's good, peoples? Welcome back to the show. Next boss, please. I'm your boy Blunt, host of you for tonight. You guys already know Brooklyn Pete is on FMLA, so he'll be going to January, I believe. I think so. But yet, we have a full show for you tonight. So buckle up, folks, because it's going to get pretty fucking interesting. So let us start it off with a question. I have a question. I know it's kind of early, not too many people in here right now, but I want to know, and the reason I'm asking this is because at the last TW 100R meeting, we had asked Jose, friend of the show, to check his check to look for his FICA payment, right? Because everybody pays into FICA. From day one when you started working, you paid into FICA. That goes for covering um, Medi- Medicaid, and Medicare, right? I believe that's the two. I know Medicare is one, Medicaid and Medicare. So since day one, when you first started working, whatever job it was, you was paying into FICA. And when we asked Jose to check his check, we couldn't find FICA, and it ended up being named something else, and I couldn't remember the name. So I hope if Jose is watching, he can type it in the chat. But I need you guys to go. What the hell? I need you guys to go into your checks and let me know if FICA is still on there. Hold on, I got like what the hell? Because again, like I said, when we asked Jose, excuse me a second, I got to clean. Anybody know how glasses get dirty? I never touch my glasses, and it's always a bunch of fingerprints. Is there a ghost in here or something? Jesus Christ, what the hell? Like I never touch my glasses. See how that's how I touch them, and all of a sudden I'm always having. Don't laugh at my hair, y'all. I'm wolfing right now. I gotta cut my hair. So leave me alone. Anyway, I just wanted to know if you guys take a look at your checks and see if FICA's still on there. Because I believe it's under another name now, but I just can't remember what it is. I wanted to ask you guys that. So if you pull out your check and you check it, type it in the comments if it's still under FICA or if it's the name has been changed. I believe it was something like government something or something like that. I don't remember. But if Jose's watching, you could holler at your boy. Let me know in the comments. Right? Um, what are we doing? Yeah. If you guys aren't aware of what's happening, we will be having a increase coming. When is it coming? December 31st? No, that's something else. Price is going to be increasing. Right here we go. Here we go. Coming on the 1st, January 1st. MTA is announcing, well, they've been announcing the increase is going to take into effect January 4th. Did I say the first? January 4th. My bad. I'm bugging. First of all, we gotta start off with a sip. Bad says Fed Med. Yeah, see? There you go. Check in the comments, y'all. See? They changed the name. Fed Med Pet Fed OASD. I don't know what the hell's all that shit, but they trying to confuse the fuck out of y'all. It's FICA. You know what I mean? Like, yo, so the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, us at TW be going, you've been paying FICA all your life and you're not going to get that. And so the name change kind of confuses people. They don't see FICA. They say, oh, well, they stopped taking it out my check. No, they still taking it out your check. They just changed the name to something else. And let me put it up on the screen for you guys. Yeah. FedMed, that could be it. He said he don't really know. But that could be it. But I know they changed the name, right? So they're still taking it out your check. And when you guys retire, that money's gone. You're not getting Medicare. You're getting Medicare Advantage now, which is a subsidy. It's like they pay Medicare for you, but it's not traditional Medicare, and you're going to be running into problems. I don't know how many times we could say that. I could say that on here, but you know, yeah, just keep a lookout for that. Thanks, appreciate it, Badge. Yeah. So, what I was saying before about the fare hike on the 4th, that is going up, right? And so the reason why I'm bringing that up, I mean, a lot of y'all probably already know that, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because I remember when I was working the B65, and I was midnight. I was working the Hawk from midnight to like 8 in the morning. And so the fare changed exactly when I started at midnight, So I was one of the first ones to receive the riding public with the fare change, and it was not good. I'm telling people, yo, Silver, what's going on, man? I'm telling people, yo, the fares changed. Everybody's like, oh, what? I'm not paying that. I didn't know it was coming. I'm not. Nah, you just go get. I mean, it was like ridiculous the whole night. I mean, it lasted for like a week. Everybody acting like they don't know that the fare's changing. They didn't know that the fare changed. They don't have it. They ain't got it. You can't do nothing about it. It was a mess. So my fellow operators, be prepared. You got some problems coming to you. When that fare goes up to $3, they're gonna be like, $3? I'm not paying. Meanwhile, they got a bag of $200 sneakers, or they got a fur coat on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you ain't got it. Y'all ain't got it. Come on now. Hold on. I forgot to tell y'all, man. I'm sorry, man. Saludos. We usually start with the sip of coffee or apple juice. But saludos to everybody out there. Yeah. Um. Oh, guys, listen. For those that might be just coming in, there was a video clip of me doing my thing on TikTok. Hey, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, man. Go give me a follow over there. A lot of people may know I'm already on TikTok under my Facebook name, but they don't know I have a music TikTok where I just do music alone because my passion is hip hop. I've been doing it for decades, and I just can't give it up. So yeah, follow your boy Blunt Bars on TikTok. But let's get back to yeah. So let's get back to what we're talking about. Enough of that. Well, yeah, guys. The 31st, the 4th, get ready for it. You're going to have a lot of problems. Just try to be safe if you can. Don't engage with them. I wish I had an album, bro. I'm just doing it for fun right now. If I get picked up, you be the first to know. But yeah, on the fourth, man, don't engage with them. Let your uniform absorb all the insults and just drive, man. Just drive. If it gets too much for you, uh, then just bang out. You know what I mean? Just say, listen, go sick and then pull your bus in. You know what I mean? But hit the RTT before you make any moves. Yo, what up, struggler? What's going on, man? Yeah, so remember on the first, that's what's gonna happen. Next up, real quick is mm, I wanted to let you guys know. Yeah, the 31st. This is why I got confused, right? This is why I got confused. On the 31st of no of this month, couple of weeks away, y'all. As you can see there, as told by News 12, that's the last day of the Metro card. It is the end of an era. The last day of the Metro cards. And that's gonna be another confuse. They need to be blasting the airways with commercials about this stuff. Because operators, bus operators, conductors, sometimes the train operators got to hear it from the riding public when these changes go into effect because people don't like change. We get abused by the public behind this stuff. And they're not making it easy for us, you know. They just let us out there to dry, you know. So people get upset. They gonna be like, why is my Metro card not working? Why is my Metro card not working? It's because they're going full omni. They're going full Omni. Omni's been out for a while. Everybody should already have an Omni card, but a lot of these older generations that are older than me, they don't understand how to use things like that. They're not tech savvy, you know. So they're gonna have problems with the switchover, you know. They're gonna be getting rid of the fare box, and they no longer gonna be taking coins, and they're going straight Omni. So the 31st, guys, be prepared. Put it in your phones. Um, do whatever practice you do to keep your nerves down. Woosah, because you're gonna be these next couple of weeks for you guys. When it by the end of the year, the beginning of the year is gonna be rough, especially for bus operators. I'm not making light of conductors, train operators, or even token booths are going to be getting it. You know, clerks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you guys out your name. Clerks are going to be getting it from the public with all these changes going on. But the good thing, one of the good things, is that with this change, right? Um, they're going to be sending out MetroCard buses, right? And they're going to be the ones doing like the public. How you say that? How you say that? They're going to be dealing with the public, right? So they're going to be explaining to people how to, make the switch over to the Omni, explaining how to work the Omni, how it works and stuff like that. And here you can take a screenshot, you know, and that way you can have locations if you want to tell people, especially when you're on the bus, where to go to talk to people, like in the Metro car buses. This is this should have like this month. Hold on a second, let me check something. Uh, I can't really read that; it's small for me. But you guys can see the locations and the dates, right? Take a screenshot. That way, keep it on your phone. Well, you can't pull your phone out while you're on the bus. Maybe print out or something. You know what I mean? Where you can have it, where you can, let them know. Or if you're in a specific location that you see there, then memorize it. That way you can tell them, listen, the Metro car bus will be here at such and such time. They can explain everything to you. I encourage you. Yeah, um, I encourage you uh, to go visit them and talk to them, or call your local, I don't know, MTA office. Call 311 or whatever. But that's going to be um, the locations for those buses. Man. There's going to be more in January. I think this ends at a certain time. But there'll be more in January. If I get the information, I gladly pass it on and post it in the group. Next bus, please. 511. Badge, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. You want some coffee? I'll get you some coffee, man. I appreciate you helping me out here. Badge, let me post that up for you guys so you guys can see that. God, my man Badge. My man Badge is coming in for me right now tonight. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Call up 511. Tell them yes. Call up 511. Right to Tokyo. No. But yeah, that's going to be an issue. So I hope you guys get prepared. I want you guys to be prepared. And if you're going to remember anything from tonight's show, remember, don't take things personally. They don't know you personally. Everybody's on edge. Uh, People are ready to just wig out, and you don't know what's the straw that's going to break their back. So don't be the straw, and let your uniform absorb all that extra stuff, and be professional. Try to remember you're the professional here. They're not cursing at you. They're cursing at the MTA. As long as they don't swing on you, then you've got to protect yourself. I'm not telling you what to do, but protect yourself, and then, we worry about what happens after that later. But you got to get home safe to your family. And this is one of the reasons why I'm bringing this stuff, so you can have the information to do certain things, let people know about certain things. Uh, where am I? I'm lost. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So you guys got that? Do I need to go over that again? MetroCard locations, the 31st. The 31st MetroCards are done. End of an era. This December, that's this month. This month, the 31st, MetroCards, they cut them. They dead them. I think they had plenty of time to switch over. I mean, I even got my Omni card. I was so happy. I ride a Cessna ride frequently, and I'm so tired of walking around or having my sister come through like a pimp with a envelope full of singles, looking like she's selling drugs and shit. But now I don't have to do that. I load my Metro card and I get on the bus and keep it moving. Some of them act like they don't know, but I'm not paying no extra, so they can act all they fucking want. I'm not giving you no money. You heard? Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. There's so much. We got the Metro card done. December 31st, right? December 31st. Remember that. That's dead. And one of the main, I got other topics, but the main topic, which is what I put in the thumbnail, was how, hey, can we go to the regular screen guy? Producer guy? Thank you. One of the main topics, what, like I said, was in the thumbnail, was how the MTA showed you, they literally showed you that they don't care about you. They don't care about you. This is not, my thing is not to bash the MTA or to bash the union, but this is just blatant. This is blatant. I'm surprised that certain other content creators whose platforms are bigger than ours are not talking about this. But a few years ago, I think it was in 2016, could be, I couldn't be wrong. If I am, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys will correct me. But back in like 2016, there was a tourist who fainted, and it was on the subways, in the subways, and she fainted. I guess it was too hot or something. I don't exactly remember the article, but I'm gonna post a link to the article so you can read it. But she fainted and fell into the tracks. Excuse me. Shit. That's that capacita. And during that time, she ended up getting hit by a train, and it severed. I forget which. I think it's her left side or right. I don't remember which side. But one side, she severed both her arm and her leg. The train severed both her arm and leg. She survived. She survived. But God, man, I can't. I cannot imagine living through that. I'm just looking for something. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. Right. So she ended up. She was in Bellevue for a couple of weeks, right? Which was crazy because I was in there for never mind. Well, she was in Bellevue for a little while to men to for them to fix her up and stuff, and she ended up suing the MTA, and she won. I forget. Hold on, let me pull up because she won. She won the lawsuit. I believe it was something like 80 something $1 million, 81 million or something like that. That she won, and it was like a recent. Oh, of course, she won like 80 something million. But what makes this interesting is that during the court case, right? And I'm gonna pull it up on the screen, right? Because actually, oh, sorry, that's a Cesaride. Calm down. So actually, during the court case, the Gotham paper has this is the article I got from the Gotham paper. Um, it says something interesting. Let me pull it up real quick for you guys. Right? Yeah, check this out. So as you can see there, can you guys see that? I'm gonna pull it up on my phone so I can read it along with you guys, so you guys can start reading it right now. Where is it? Hmm? Right. So look, 2019 MTA Commission. It's the right one. Yeah. The MTA commissioned a 3,000-page report detailing the challenges to installing platform doors in subway stations. Right. This is them talking. Um, like in those in places like the Air Trans and JFK and Newark Airport. I've said that on this show before that the airports have the best way to do the subways. They should do it like the airports where they have the whole glass doors and when the train comes. I know it's expensive, but it's the safety of both the riding public and the transit employee, the members, right? Us. Um, so the report concludes that the infrastructure will be too costly and disruptive to install on every platform throughout the cities. Right. Okay, let's stop there for a second. Let's stop there for a second. 472 subway stations, right? That would be that would be really expensive to put those type of doors like in the airport, right? That's that whole system on the so you start like they always do. If you start with like the main hubs like Times Square, um, the Junction in Brooklyn. What's up there for the Bronx? You guys let me know. What is it? uh, I can't think of the name of the streets in the Bronx that are. But what's the main hub in the Bronx? It's got to be one in the Bronx. That's like the uh, main spot where people, like a big hub like that. What's that? Third Avenue, um, Fordham Road, or something like that. There's like a main hub. You start with the main hubs first, right? And then as time builds, you work on the other ones. The secondary and the tertiary ones, like Nostrand Avenue. You do that after like 5 years when you got, you run the budget, and then when your next budget, you put a new one up. Take your time, but at some point you're gonna have all of them done. You don't have to do all. There's no way you're gonna do all of them right away anyway. But you can do that. All right, but let's continue on with the which one is it? This one, right? So, but this is the most interesting part here, right? Follow along with me, guys. But during the deposition in the lawsuit, De Silva, right? De Silva's lawyers say they learned the MTA had looked into installing screen doors on platforms as far back as 2011. Records obtained through the lawsuit show the agency considered the private companies that offered, this is the important part, the agency considered private companies that offered to install the equipment for free in exchange for collecting revenue from advertising on the doors. Now you can continue to read. I'm going to post a link for um, the full article. But I mean, they offered them to install the stuff, the doors and stuff, for free. They don't have to come out of pocket. All they wanted was, money from advertising on the doors. They said no. They said no. Why? Why would they do that? That doesn't make sense. Why say no? You're not coming out of pocket. And the money that they're getting is coming from outside and going to them. They don't care about you. They only care about the bottom line. They only care about that money. They saw that money would come and go to somebody else. They was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. If that doesn't tell you that they don't give a fuck about you, they don't give a fuck about their employees, they only give a fuck about that bottom line, I don't know what to tell you. You're delusional. You're delusional. Because right now, since 2011, almost all of those stuff, almost all of the stations, 472, will be close to being complete, fully enclosed. With those barriers, and as soon as the train pulls in, the doors open up and the train doors, just like in the airports, it would have been almost done by now, if not completed. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say there'll still be quite a few stations that are not done, but we'll be close to it. They said no. They don't want to give up that money. That is a blatant slap in the face to both you and I. It's just, I don't know what else to say about that. But we the ones that got to feel the brunt of the pain. They're not in the public eye. They're not in there. They're not in the trenches with us, with you guys. They don't care. They don't care, man. It's just I read that, I was like, holy shit. A lot of these deaths could have been prevented. A lot of these injuries could have been prevented. They transit and our union both stay reacting to things. They don't never be proactive. They never jump in front of something to prevent things. They wait for shit to happen, usually something horrible, for them to say or do anything. They had the opportunity to have these I don't know what they call it, enclosements of the tracks to keep people away, the safety of the tracks done for free. And they said no because they don't want to lose that advertising money. I, I don't know what you guys feel about. I know how you guys feel. I know how I feel about that shit. I think that shit is a blatant slap in the face. And I hope that maybe those companies that offer to do that are still there waiting with the offer on the table. And we get somebody who's in charge that is willing to put the safety of the riding public and the employees first before money, right? Isn't that our model as a MTA worker? Isn't that like the first thing on the triple S's? Safety, service. I forgot what the other one was. Schedule, yeah, schedule. Safety, service, or something like that. Was it three? It's been a while since I've been in transit, so I forgot what the three S's are. My bad. This is where Pete comes in at. But yeah, it's just I find that horrific that when I found that out that actually happened. Again, I will post that article um, in the comments when I'm done. I can't put it right now. I'm all over the place right now. I'm trying to keep it together, guys. I'm trying to keep it. Hey, how's everybody doing? All right. So let's move on, guys. Let us move on. Um, this next topic is something that I feel like we need to talk, and I want to hear you guys' opinion about it. As you can see, we're gonna have Euro style fair enforcement, fair evasion enforcement. Here's the article. This is from Pix. Can you guys see that? Hmm? That's it. Trying to pull up the. Oh man, where is it? As you can see, let's read along together, folks. Reading is fundamental. According to the PIX article, this says we're going to move to Euro style fair payment enforcement, where you'll have fair agents, not cops, who can go up to people and say, "Can you show me your phone or your Omni card?" And I can validate that you paid, according to Lieber, who was the head of MTA, right? So personnel could do. I just forgot how to read just now. Personnel could do spot checks on buses. NYPD is responsible for bus fare enforcement, though its bus enforcement unit through. Can I start over, y'all, please? All right. The NYPD is responsible for bus fare enforcement through its bus enforcement unit, but it lacks sufficient staffing, according to what Lebanon. So they're going to be going to Euro style fare evasion enforcement. You guys know that's basically what the Eagle team is, right? It's a Euro style. So if you're like me, I don't know. When I heard about the Eagle team, I was told that they were ex police officers and things of that nature, right? So I'm like, okay, so they have some authority, right? That's what I'm thinking. ex-police. So I don't know if when you retire that your credentials get stripped from you or they carry over. But I'm figuring if they're ex-police, they're either certified or something, which I have that authority to request a fare, pull you off, and give you a ticket. I was wrong. They're civilians. Some may be ex-police, but they're really civilians. I mean, that is what ex-police officers are, right? They regular civilians now. And so hearing that, um, I'm like, okay, so if they're civilians, then this is just my mind thinking. You let me know if you kind of like, you know, felt the same or whatever. Now, thinking that they're just civilians, somebody like me, I'm thinking, okay, well, if they're civilians, then if they ask to see my card or my information, I'll be like, no, go fuck yourself. Fuck away from me. I'm not showing you shit, right? They civilians. What they gonna do? Put me on the civilians arrest? Then we fight. The minute you touch me, we fight. All right. That's just the wrong way of looking at it. And so I had the question if hold on, let me get to it. If they're civilians, uh well, maybe they're just deputized, right? And so they have the authority to um lock you up. So I took it upon myself. Don't worry. I got you guys. I took it upon myself to ask Google. I went to Google college. And I said, well, are they deputized or anything to give them the power to do what they're asked to do? And this is what Google said. They said no, they are not deputized, right? But however, they fall under a certain category with codes about where I'm trying to see if I can pull that up here. No, I don't have it. No, I don't have it. Da, 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 da. I don't have it. Anyway, so no, they're not deputized, but they do fall under a certain code. I went and asked I have a law enforcement officer who's I'm really close with. One of my best friends since childhood. And so I asked him. I mean, is there? It says that there's some codes and stuff like. He told me there's codes, and that they fall under that. So I'm like, okay, so what if you decide to say, listen, I'm not, like I said earlier, fuck you. I'm not showing you shit. Get away from me, blah blah blah. And you don't comply when they come and ask you. This is because I'm bringing this up because this is something I would do, and I don't want any of you guys or your family to uh end up doing what I would do. I won't do it now because I know better, but something that you can educate them on is that when they ask you to see your phone or to check your Omni card, you got to comply because if you don't, this is what happens. I'm gonna see if I can read it with you guys. I usually have it on my phone. Uh, yeah, let me pull it up. Hold on, let me pull it up for you guys. Mm, uh, I don't know where I put it at. Anyway, but this you guys can see it on screen. Take a screenshot, read it out loud. So you have to comply with that because if you don't, um, you could get arrested. You could get detention and warning and legal, and there's going to be legal charges. So they have the authority to actually do that. So don't do that. There's more in that article, but it didn't pertain to what we're talking about here, so I just left it out. But you got to comply So tell your family, your friends, yeah, even though they may be just regular civilians, they fall under a code. I thought I sent that code to me. Oh man, I think it's still in my inbox. Why would it be there? There's a code. Give me a second. Let me pull the code up. That way you guys can see. I'm sorry. No, I had it all set up except for that part there. There's a code. I'm gonna show you a code in 1 second. That's one I sent it to myself. I'm over here sitting with my coffee, unprepared, blah blah blah. I know, guys. I'm gonna pull up the code so you can have the exact code of what they fall under and not just not comply. And just not comply. There we go. Give me one more. Pulling it up, guys. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Um, ooh. Mm-hmm. Dead air. Dead air is no good. I know that. And that's what this is. Wait, where'd it go? Why is it not there? I, I downloaded it. There it is. Huh? Come on, guys. Blue. There we go. Sometimes computer takes a little while. So let me put it here. I know you guys are waiting like, what the fuck, guy? Get it together. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it. Mm-mm. Mm. This is what happens when you. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. People are like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right? What does this have to do with anything? There we go. That's there. And turn that on. All that time for that. That's the codes that they fall on. The comp codes are in regs T IT 21 subsection 1151 21. That's what they fall in, and that has something to do with like Australian, some crap with Australian codes and stuff like that that they're going to be using here. And they have the authority to pull you off and ticket you and hold you if necessary for the NYPD to come and get you. So make sure you comply with them. Euro style. So that's going to be like so the full Euro style fare evasion is going to be happening next year, but that's only going to be when they go completely fully omni. So once they go fully omni, they're going to be having more Eagle teams. It's the Eagle team, but it's, they're just calling it Euro style. Doesn't make I don't know. It is retarded because they had I spoke about this before. They had transit authority, transit police, and they took them away from us. and merged them with NYPD, and now they don't have enough officers. And again, remember, I don't know if you guys been watching us from back in the days, but the governor has said they was giving us 500 cops to patrol MTA subways and buses. That was like a couple of years ago, and then just recently, Mayor Adams said the same thing. Oh, we're going to be giving you 500 cops for why is always 500 cops, and why don't we ever see the 500 cops patrolling where they need to be patrolling? You know, it sounds like a certain somebody that keeps promising 2 weeks for certain new medical plans. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 500 cops, 500. I mean, where the hell are the cops at? And why aren't they patrolling where they need to be patrolling? They keep trying to feed you bullshit, and they want you to swallow it. But it's gonna be they're gonna be doing this Euro style thing. It's gonna be implemented sometime next year when they finally go full Omni. So if you guys see them, let me know. Shoot me a text in my email at our email or my email, and let me know. Hey, I spotted the Eagle team here. They doing their thing. Okay, sounds good. So I think it's just retarded with that, with them promising all that stuff. So I'm gonna move on from that, because between that and the fact that the MTA, why is that? Hold on. The fact with that and the fact that the MTA really doesn't care about you, and they showed you that when they in that case that they just lost with the lady. If you just coming in, um, yeah, you missed a lot. MTA was caught not accepting free help to put up the barriers like the ones in the airport. When the train comes by, you got that full water. Those they got caught being offered to have it done for them for free in exchange for advertising money, and they said no. They said no. So they basically said, "Fuck you, fuck the ride in public, fuck the employees, fuck everybody. We're gonna keep our money." But that's just horrible. I mean, all that stuff is just makes you not uh, really want to work for the company anymore. I mean, the money's good, some of the benefits are good, but they just treat everybody like crap. And with what the union's going through now, it's just terrible. And that brings me to this next subject is social media. There have been, if you guys are on TikTok, anybody that's on TikTok, first of all, you can follow my account. I'm there, Eric RIP. Yeah. You know, there's been a string, and it's like now it's starting to escalate where you have not just the right in public who's going on TikTok and complaining and rage baiting people about how the MTA sucks, and buses are too slow, or they had an experience with an operator, they putting them on blast and stuff. But you got a string of employees, the members, our own members, our old transit workers, bus operators. I see mostly bus operators. I have yet to see um, anybody from subways complaining. But the public complains about the subway also, but they mostly complain about bus operators. But what I want to talk about is how, and we talked, me and Pete have talked about this a lot on the show, is that um, the members who go on TikTok and complain about the riot in public. First of all, that's a no-no. You and not only are they complaining, they're in full uniform and they're at their tools. That is a big no-no. That goes against the MTA rules. You may not know what they are, and that could help you if they pull you in the office, but they're gonna pull you. They're gonna pull you in the office, and you're jeopardizing your job for some social media likes. And it's on the uptick. It's on the uptick, and you got a lot of new folks who don't even know the rules, and they going on there and they putting people on blast. Now, if you're in your regular clothes and you're walking around, you do what you got to do. You do what you want. But once you in uniform, you have to abide by their rules. And social media is a no-no. One of the things I've seen recently, there's like three main topics, right? One is a TikToker who's a bus operator. I actually follow her account. She's pretty funny, but sometimes she does things that makes me shake my head because she knows better, and she'll still do it. And one of the things that she was complaining about, I'm not mentioning her name. I'm just saying that she was complaining about was the F5 button. No, us members, we know what the F5 button does, right? So she's explaining about that button. She's not telling them what the button really is, but what she did was in her video, she made a connection with the F5 button, and I believe it was the police. I know it's part of either management or the police. It was one of the two or both. But she made that connection. And, it is what she's saying is partially, it is true, but it's misleading, right? When an operator hits the F5 button, it's just to um, tag that person that didn't pay their fare, and so that when they tally, they know how many people are not paying versus who's paying. But that's not the real. It's more just to keep track of how many people are coming into the bus, so they could decide whether to keep the bus on the route, add another bus, or take away the bus. Right? But her connection went beyond that and put a target on operators' back because it involved the police now. And it's like, dude, that's not what we doing. But the way she said it, it made it look like we're snitching on people coming in and say, hey, this guy didn't pay. They don't know who the person really is, but it's just keeping track. But the connection she made it seem like we're snitching on people. So she effectively put a target on every operator's back. Because if she has a lot of people who watch her video. So when they watch it, they're going to take it as the gospel truth. And so, that's just that's just making it harder for your brothers and sisters who got to push that F5 button. There was another one where um, she was complaining about passengers not standing in the bus stop where they're supposed to stand, right? She was saying, listen, if the pole's here and you're on this side of the pole, that's telling her you're not waiting for the bus stop. Or if you're on this side that you're waiting, she knows you're waiting. But if you're this one, that she's not, that you're not in the bus. It's not like, it's an unwritten rule on where you have to stand in the bus stop, right? When you go to Staten Island or Queens, they line up. They start at the pole and they line a certain way. Brooklyn, that's not happening. Maybe on 86th Street and 4th Avenue where they're getting on the Staten Island buses, but in Brooklyn they stand wherever they want. They don't care about that, right? So you're complaining about that. It's doing what? Relieving your stress? They don't give a shit. They're gonna stand where they want to stand. I understand it's frustrating. Sometimes it be frustrating to sit there and try to figure out what they're doing. But you open the doors and they come, they come. They're gonna come. Whatever. Just do what you're supposed to do. I felt the same way about people who always had those long goodbyes. Excuse me. about, when you get to the bus stop, you open the door and now they kissing and doing all this stuff. You know, let them do what they got to do. You just drive. When they get on, you just keep it moving. But complain, excuse me, about where they standing at the bus stop, especially in Brooklyn, that's not doing anything. If you want to educate them, you can tell them nicely. You're probably going to get cursed out, but it's not worth. It's not worth the job. It's not worth the aggravation. And like I said, people are on edge. You might bring it up, and they be like, you know what? Do something bad to you for what? For what? Because you don't like where they stood in the bus stop. They can stand where the hell they want. But my next one was a huge one for me because it's kind of it's a personal thing, but it's not personal. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? It's a personal thing, but it's not. But this guy was complaining. He was angry. He was angry. He's operating, and he was complaining about uh, the riding public. But one of the things that he brought up that was like touched the nerve to me was he was talking about uh, he was at the bus stop and he saw this guy walk in the wheelchair, right? And so, he had his doors open and the guy came all the way up to the door, walked all the way up to the door with the wheelchair, got in front, and then sat in the wheelchair. He was pissed off because he's like, ain't nothing wrong with this guy. Why did he walk the wheel? Why is he sitting in the wheelchair? What does he expect? Why do listen, I first of all, I understand the frustration. I used to feel that way too. But I never disrespected anybody in a wheelchair, and I just kept my anger to myself. But one thing that I learned, um, becoming a member of the disabled community myself, is that, and they tell you this on transit, you cannot see all the injuries. You cannot see what people are um, held or sick by or sick of. Certain things you just can't see. They may look normal to you, but they have problems. And that one with the wheelchair, I particularly know because I can't walk long distances. If you're telling me I got to walk a mile, I ain't doing it. I can't walk a long distance. So I may have to carry my walk on my wheel. I may, I could be walking to stretch my legs because I need to exercise, but I can't walk long enough. So I need the wheelchair or a scooter or whatever. And that could be the case for that guy. Look, I went over the hour already. Damn. But that could be the case for that guy. You just don't know. And to get frustrated like that, I understand that, but you gotta have empathy for people. You don't know what's wrong with them, what ails them, what's bothering them. And so to make a public post like that, you're making yourself look bad and you're making the operators look bad. The frustration is real. Keep it to yourself and understand that you can't see every injury. I have two long pins in my back that nobody knows about except now you do. And that hurts when I hit bumps and stuff like that. And sometimes standing up all the time could weigh on my back. And so I would need to carry, but just listen, forget about all that. Just understand that um, you can't see all the injuries. You don't know what people are going through. Everybody's on edge. And it's just, accommodate them. You never know when the shoe's going to be on the other foot. One day I was fine driving the bus and everything. Next thing you know, I'm part of the disabled community myself. So you just never know. So you need to keep it, be, just be cool, be professional, you know. God, we already went over that. That went by pretty fast, man. Listen, I appreciate you, everybody that came to watch the show today. I have ran through a lot of stuff, so I hope you guys can keep up, man. But if you can, if you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us grow. We're trying to get to at least 1,000. So and next us please on YouTube. Subscribe if you like it. Hit the bell to stay notified when we go live. Or we, because sometimes we just post stuff that's not live on the channel. you may be missing out. Uh, Again, man, it was a pleasure doing the show today. I appreciate you guys watching. You could have been here anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with me, and that is much appreciated. So until next week, I think I covered everything, right? Mm, yep, I believe so. So yeah, so till next week, guys. Um, for Brooklyn Pete, I'm your boy Blunt. That's the end of our show, and fuck them if they can't take a joke. Later, guys.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.